Hello students, my name is Atul Krishna. I have been teaching IELTS for the past 17 years. If you are facing a problem in reading, listening, speaking and writing section of IELTS, you can call on my WhatsApp enabled number. I would be happy to help you. You can find my number in the description box. Today I am going to discuss a cue card which is an interesting lecture you attended. As you see from the very title that it has the word attended, which is the past tense of the word attend. So if you have written this line of the cue card, then I will rub it off for you. Please take your notebook and pen or pencil and you write down this cue card topic, which is an interesting lecture you attended. So I'll just rub it for you. Now see in the topic what you can visualize is that there is a word attended. Attended is the past tense of the word attend. Whenever you get a cue card, you have to first see this word. This word is very important. As attended is given, so we understand that past tense will be used. As you can see from the very title that it has the word attended, which is in past tense. It is the past tense of the word attend. So if I ask you a question, which tense we should use for describing this cue card, there are no marks for guessing this answer. It is the past tense, isn't it? So we will use the past tense to describe this cue card. Yes, we will use the past tense. Okay? Now, how we will start the cue card, I will tell you. I have seen that many students face a very big problem in kick-starting the conversation. Once they are able to start, then it is okay for them. They can speak for the complete 2 minutes time allotted. But starting the conversation is very difficult for some people. So what I have seen that students try to make a sort of template or they make a formula, which is very wrong. So never make a template. Template is a sort of formula. Means like this topic is given. So if you make a sort of formula in your mind and start speaking like this, that I have attended many classes or lectures in my life, like when I was in college, when I was in school and when I went to spoken English class. The lecture that I found very interesting was my college lecture. This is a very wrong starting. Never use a template. Never use a formula. The examiner will catch you. So then there is a problem. We are not able to understand that how we can start a topic in which we have to describe about the past tense. Don't worry, I will tell you. See. I hope you are writing all these things in your notebook. Write them clearly so that later on you can revise also. See, whatever information I am giving in this cue card, they are applicable for all the topics in which you have to describe in the past tense. So if you will understand one topic, it will be equivalent to maybe 200 topics, right? So that's why understanding this topic is very important. This video is very important. Stay with me for the whole video, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please subscribe and also share, like and press the bell icon so that you can get all my videos. The videos that I am going to make in the future, you will get them all. Okay, let's come back to the topic now without wasting any further time. Now see how to start it. Now I am telling you one word for past tense. the topics in which you have to describe in past tense. You can very well use a word vividly. Vividly. Vividly actually means clearly. It means clearly. So, vividly means clearly. Vividly looks better than the word clearly. So, use this word. Don't use this word. Whenever you have to describe an event in the past tense, always start with vividly. I will show you how. You should say, I vividly remember. So, you can start by saying, I vividly remember. You are talking about your past. So you are saying, I vividly remember. If I ask you which word looks more classy, vividly or clearly, definitely you will say vividly only. It's a better word. So I vividly remember. Past tense, whenever a topic is there where you have to describe in the past tense, you can start by saying, I vividly remember. I hope you are writing this down. Then 10 years ago, I have seen many students who use the word before or back to show the time. They don't use the word ago. Before is completely wrong, back is also wrong. Whenever you have to tell about the past time, please use 10 years ago. Don't say 10 years before. Even don't say 10 years back. But the correct form, grammatically accurate form is 10 years ago. So what sentence we have got? I vividly remember 10 years ago. Next is during the summer vacation. So here we are talking about a time. So we are talking about a time zone. So please use during and don't say during my summer vacation. So summer vacation is not mine or yours. You have to say during the summer vacation. Now from the topic only I am borrowing the word attended. I attended, it is in past tense. I attended a spoken English lecture. Now this I have borrowed from the topic. So I attended a spoken English lecture, right? Now the place also you have to mention. So you can write down at the Saral Bhasha class in Baroda. So Saral Bhasha class is the name of my class. Actually my YouTube channel is also Saral Bhasha. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel. And at the Saral Bhasha class in Baroda. Now you see over here, for a smaller place we have used at, and for a bigger place we have used in. So when you will say at the Saral Bhasha class in Baroda, you will show to the examiner that you know this grammar rule, that for a smaller place we use at, whereas for a bigger place we use in. Like if I talk about Baroda, then I can say at Baroda in Gujarat. But when I say about Gujarat and India, then we can say at Gujarat in India. But when I talk about India and the world, then I should say at India in the world, right? So at is always used for smaller places, in is used for the bigger places enclosing it. So the first line is ready for this cue card. I'll just repeat it for you. it is, I vividly remember 10 years ago during the summer vacation, I attended a spoken English lecture at the Saral Bhasha class in Baroda. Okay, so this is the thing you have to remember. So whenever you are referring to a smaller place, always use at, and for a bigger place you should use in. Now next thing I'll tell you is one sort of writing which is called as from the very green days of my life. Now you will say, what is this? What does this mean? Green days. Green days means from the very childhood. So if you will use the word like from the very childhood, it doesn't look so much impressive. But when you say from the very green days of my life, it looks better, isn't it? It looks classy. So that's why you have to make your speaking look very classy. How it will look classy? If you use some set of words like this. So you can say from the very green days of my life, I had a problem with tenses. So tenses were a big problem for me. So from the very green days of my life means from the childhood only. The reason we are giving that why you attended the lecture. That's the question. So you had a problem with the tenses. Everyone has a problem with the tenses actually. So actually from the very green days of my life, I had a problem with tenses. I always got perplexed between the present, past and the future tense. One word is there, I felt perplexed while using the present tense, past tense and future tense. Actually perplexed is a very nice word. It means confused. But confused is a normal word. You should use the word perplexed in place of confused. You should say perplexed. Okay, it's a nice word. So actually from the very green days of my life, I had a problem with tenses. I always felt perplexed, not confused, between the present tense, past tense and the future tense. That's why I decided to take a spoken English class. The reason we have given, that why you attended. As my English was not okay, I felt a little nervous on the first day. Now you have to come to the first day because the topic you are talking about is a lecture. So you say about the first day, and also you were a little bit nervous. Means when the teacher will come and she will teach you, you will feel better. That's why you are making a background that you felt little nervous. So what you have to say, that as my English was not okay, I felt a little nervous on the very first day. First day, nervous. Okay. But when I saw Rekha Madam, who was the teacher at the Saral Bhasha Academy, all my nervousness was gone. So you can say Atul sir also. My name is Atul sir. So when I saw Atul sir, so Atul sir was the teacher. Because another teacher is also there. Her name is Rekha, and she is our employee actually. But I am using my name today. It's okay. So Atul sir. So when I saw Atul sir for the first time, who is the teacher at the Wisdom Academy, teacher at the Saral Bhasha classes, all my nervousness was gone. So nervousness was gone. So when I saw Atul sir, who was the teacher at the Saral Bhasha classes, all my nervousness was gone. Now why it was gone? I can never forget the very first lesson that I attended, where Atul sir explained about the present tense. So we can take any one point that is like the present tense. So from grammar we are taking that on one day the teacher cannot explain everything. So on that particular day he explained about the present tense. So all my nervousness was gone. I can never forget the very first lesson that I attended, where Atul sir explained about the present tense. I liked his way of teaching very much. So you have to talk about the liking. You liked the way of teaching. He used tables and charts to explain difficult concepts pertaining to English grammar. Now see, you have to talk about the methods used by the teacher. You liked the lecture means the method was very good. So the teacher used some tables and he also used some charts to explain the difficult concepts. So what you can say, that I liked his way of teaching very much. He used tables and charts to explain difficult concepts pertaining to English grammar. Now see, there is a word called pertaining. Some good words I am giving. Vocabulary really matters. If you want a 6+ score, 7 bands or something, you can easily use a word pertaining. And it means related. This you can use in your graph also, that is writing task 1 or writing task 2 also you can use. Like you can say that the graph gives information pertaining to. So pertaining is a very nice word. It is just synonymous to related. Whenever he saw that students were losing interest in the subject, she sometimes cracked jokes and other times she told stories. So see, I'll tell you important thing. Sometimes and other times. You can use it anywhere. Like you can say that sometimes in the morning I drink tea, whereas other times I prefer to have coffee. Okay. So here I have used it like this, that whenever he saw that students were losing interest in the subject, he sometimes cracked jokes and other times he told stories, right? Now you can say over here, I really felt like Atul sir was my Guru Drona and I was his Arjuna. So such type of lines from the mythology you should take. Like I felt that he was Guru Drona for me and I was his Arjuna. Okay. If you use such type of lines, the examiner feels very impressed. The very first day at the Wisdom Academy helped me understand the nitty-gritty of English grammar. Now some good words I am giving you, you must take them down. Nitty-gritty. Nitty, put a small dash, and gritty. Actually nitty-gritty means basics or fundamentals. It is such a nice word. Like you can say that I am trying to understand the nitty-gritty of physics subject. I am trying to understand the nitty-gritty of the human reproductive system. Means I am trying to understand. So nitty-gritty is a very nice word. You can use anytime. Okay. So you can say the very first day at the Wisdom Academy the very first day at the Saral Bhasha, because there is another class which I have is Wisdom Academy, 2 classes I have. But so that's why, but today I want to use Saral Bhasha because my YouTube channel is also Saral Bhasha. Please subscribe students. Remember that thing. So the very first day at the Saral Bhasha classes helped me understand the nitty-gritty of English grammar. Even today when my brother asks me questions related to the present tense, I always look into the English grammar notebook and get all answers instantly. Instantly means quickly. So I refer to the book and I get it. Now we are coming to the end of the speaking. As you know that we have to speak for 2 minutes for the cue card. I have seen that many students are able to speak for the first 1.5 minutes very nicely, but after that they really turn blank. They are not able to finish the last 30 seconds. If that is a problem with you, I will help you really. See, what you have to understand that whenever you end a topic, you should speak a little negative about the cue card. Whether the question is given or not given, whether it is given or not given that what you did not like in the class, you should speak a little negative so that you understand also that you are coming to the end of the topic, firstly. Secondly, it will be a very important tool for filling in the time. You will be able to finish the 2 minutes very easily. Now let me show you how I have done it. Now remember that now as we are coming near to the end of our speaking, we should say something negative. We should say something negative. So you can say that when I attended the class, when I attended the lecture, I did not find one thing very appealing. I did not like one thing, that the teacher was using some vulgar sort of jokes. He was telling some vulgar jokes in the class. Vulgar jokes. Some teachers have this habit. I don't have this habit, luckily, that they use some bad words in the class. Yeah. So he cracked some vulgar jokes and also used some bad words. You can use although over here, that although the other students liked these jokes very much, I did not like it. This way you can end. Always remember that when you are attempting the cue card, never have a conclusion. A cue card never has a conclusion. Remember, never think like this that you will say a conclusion. Conclusion is a big no. You have to go on speaking till your 2 minutes are over. That is when the examiner says that okay, stop. You have to go on speaking. Okay, so I hope you got this thing. And one more word I want to tell you, which you can use in place of nitty-gritty, which is subtleties and nuances. So subtleties and nuances, this you can use very well in writing task 2 also, but don't use in the writing task 1. You can use in the speaking phase 1, 2 or 3. Subtleties and nuances also means basics. So 2 words I have given for basics. One is subtleties and nuances. The other one is nitty-gritty. You can say that I tried to. Now here you can use a word like fathom out. Fathom out means find out. Fathom out. Fathom means find out. I always tried to fathom out the subtleties and nuances of the present tense while I was there in the class. Okay. So I hope you liked this video, the information I have given in this video. If you like it, you should subscribe to my channel, students, and press the bell icon so that you will get all my new videos. Also share with your friends, like it. Okay, I will see you guys in some other class, in some other video talking about some other cue card. Till then, bye, take care.